hello to my third video, and I've been uploading a bit much. That was some pretty bad grammar. So basically, I'm just gonna do some coding on Scratch, as you can see here. I've already done some, since this is from a bit ago. Yeah, pretty neat, right? I know. Just beautiful, I know. And yeah. So let's get to coding. Okay, now we're back at the loading. Let me just unpause this. Now we just gotta do some nice stuff, and draw a pretty good thing. And yeah, let's just make a ground color, I guess.
Into a unicorn. That hasn't worked at all. And that bell means it's Christmas. Isn't that beautiful, the flame football in the middle? Now that's Christmas over. Short's left to take down the decorations. Kasparov is conglomerating his pawns into a mega chessatron. It's not looking good for Short. Short's upgrading his queen to a hotel. Oh, very interesting. Kasparov's queen has been revealed to be an imitation, played very convincingly by Helen Mirren. She has won an Oscar there. But she will have to leave. She can, of course, leave in any direction she likes. Short, getting up on the chair. A lovely swing there. Kasparov, full house. Short, royal flush. Mrs. Bunter Baker, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And this is extraordinary. Kasparov is pissing all over the board. But will he have the pressure to slew Short's king away? Yes, he's done it. Kasparov is the new world new chess champion, so well done there to Kasparov and his capacious bladder.
BBC is doing pretty good,
To Short.
I guess. Doing some pretty nice stuff. We're gonna watch some other stuff too. So yeah, I hope you guys like this new video I'm currently doing. Cause if not, that might be kind of bad.
The Vortex promo code when he started playing. What a champ! He got Vortex, the legendary flying tank, and some other sweet resources to upgrade his mech. With tons of HP and the protective nanobot field ability, this mech is so hard to kill. Plus, it doubles Vortex's speed. That's a crazy advantage in the arena. Start strong with the Vortex promo code, get a massive starter pack, and dominate the arena.
Actually, let's always.
So words are cool. Originally, people would tell people about things through dope drawings. Then the Egyptians did the same thing, just organized. But then they realized that they didn't want to draw 12 birds, 4 knives, 4 mop-looking guys, and 53 other things just to say Band-Aid. So a while later, the Romans meticulously crafted 26 letters out of random lines and the noises we make with our mouths to form the alphabet. These letters can combine together to create words that actually make sense and aren't too complicated. These simple symbols can say literally anything imaginable just by putting them next to each other. And they are so basic that anyone can learn the alphabet. Truly, this is the peak of human communication. Oh wait,
Boop.
Nope, wrong. This alphabet sucks. There are so many issues with this that nobody ever brings up. So I have decided that the only solution is to make a new, revised version of the alphabet. it's time to make Alphabet 2. Alright, so here's all the letters, and I think we'll just start by kicking out the useless ones. C? No, you can just use K or S. J. Does this letter even exist? I feel like every time I say J, it's not even a J, it's just a G. Fine, J can stay. Now Q. Q is dumb. The only time anyone uses it is when there's a U after it. And you could just use like a KW or something instead. Q is pointless. There's no point when it just has to be paired with another letter. So Q is cancelled. See, now it gets tricky.
So yeah, that
See
was
X
pretty
right
good,
here?
right?
You don't ever really need
I think
an
so.
X. Like, let's say you're saying extreme.
And
Now, of course, there's an
yeah,
X there, but you could
put
also
the
just put a KS
code
there,
of
and it
written.
would sound the exact same.
No,
But
it's
does
just
KS really say extreme to you? No, it doesn't. So we gotta give X a pass, except for lowercase x. If you're gonna be extreme, you gotta go all the way. And that brings up another problem. What's the deal with some of these upper and lowercase letters? You spend so long learning 26 specific symbols, only to realize you have to learn like 16.
yeah. Now I have to copy this.
So we're just gonna make a lot of these the same upper and lowercase. So I's, there would be no way to tell capital and lowercase basically. So we're just gonna cancel capital I because it's confusing anyway. We'll just keep both J's. I like both of them. Cut off the top of this K here. Yeah. Already looking much better. Also, look at this thing. It's just a
Actually,
W,
let's
right?
change this a
Actually,
bit.
no. Like what? Double U? It's not even two U's. It's double V's. V's. So it's double V now. It doesn't change anything about it. That's just what it's called. Now here's this. Why do there have to be silent letters? Like, why are we gonna have a letter if it doesn't do anything? The only silent letter that debatably does something is E, but that still just confuses people. So no more silent E's. Other silent letters are the worst. They do nothing and they're pointless. Some words are literally just one letter sounds, but they're dragged out with letters that you don't even say. Like you could say R instead of R, or U instead of U, or instead of Q you could say... Wait, hold on, bring Q back. So using silent letters is banned. This also combines forces with the changes we made for X from before, and it makes it so there's no E in front of extreme. So now we don't have to say xylophone every time we try to explain what an X does. Yeah. No more xylophone. Also, who decided the alphabet should be in that order? I don't like it. So first we gotta replace the C, because that was kind of a core, you know, ABC, 1, 2, 3, basic stuff. So let's put O. You know, it's curvy. It's just it's like a complete C, you know? Because then instead of a C, it continues to make a no. You know what I'm saying? That's why we put O there. It's yeah. Just kidding. Actually, no. That's dumb. That's dumb. Actually, I got something. Okay. See what I'm getting
There.
at?
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Here we go. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Now the order is so much more convenient.
Move out these
We always use
edges.
keyboards. Here you go.
Move out these
Okay.
edges.
Now imagine looking at a word and you can't tell at all what it says because it's curly. That sucks, right? So yeah, cursive is banned. I always just get so confused. Like, look at this. Look at this. What does this say? Huh? Huh? I still don't know. So yeah, this also includes signatures. So no signatures. Actually, instead, everyone just has to have their own logo. You know what I mean? Like you just draw your little logo on like a little box on permission slips or something. I don't even know what signatures are for. So yeah, no signatures. Now let's add some bonus features. All S's now have to be written as cool S. Do I need to explain myself here? Yeah,
No.
I didn't think so.
You don't have to
Adding
explain
back
yourself a little,
alpha
man.
and beta, those
It's
will just
beautiful.
A and B because you know it's alphabet, beta. So we have to have them. So yeah, that kicks out A and B. Also, can we bring back
And
Bird from
yeah.
Egypt? Wait, there's
That's
two
nuts,
birds?
nuts, nuts. Get rid of that.
Heck yeah. Wait, actually,
Oh,
there's
wait a
lots of
minute.
birds.
Now we have to go to code of
We'll just
this.
keep this guy.
Code of this.
We'll put him at the end.
Ah!
Hey guys, I think we did it. This is about 100 better than the last alphabet, and it's perfectly flawless. So, I expect everyone throughout the world to be using this within the next 2 months. And yeah, that's about it. You're welcome. Also, this is still how you say Band-Aid.
Subscribe.
Agileft has had a very positive impact on our organization. It has improved our relationships across the business between legal, finance, even procurement. Anyone that's in the system is really realizing the benefits of having the system, and I think that's creating a lot of positivity across the organization. It really met a lot of our needs for our contracting workflow. I think the entire organization is clearly driven towards the same
Should also
goal, which is
probably, like,
supporting their customers.
you guys.
That's huge for us.
What? Yep, that happened. Yeah, look at that quick pause thing. Isn't that cool? I think so. Dude, you're not supposed to be. Let me fix everything up.
You can't deny the fact that chess is the game ever. Chess is just a silly little game where you move your little horsey and castle around on a bunch of squares. But chess started out a little differently in the 7th century in India, where we can find its earliest form, chaturanga. 4 divisions of military: infantry, and chariotry, which have since evolved into pawn, knight, bishop, and rook. Chaturanga also had a form of the king and queen, Raja and Mantri. The problem was that there was some really random rules, like the elephantry moves too diagonally, but it jumps like the knight, but in some rules it doesn't, and all sorts of nonsense. Anyways, this got through Persia, where they added a form of check and checkmate. It then went through the Mongols and spread through the Middle East, which got to Russia, which got to Europe. The Europeans developed the game into the chess we know today, with consistent rules that make it an effective game that anyone can learn and enjoy. Okay, now this is usually the part where I go angry mode. But guys, do you realize how great chess is? It's been around in some form for 16 centuries, I think. Every detail has been fine-tuned, and it's so accessible. There's a reason it's basically unmatched in terms of board games. Until now. Yes, chess is a good game. But as you all know, I'm objectively correct, and I have a skill for fixing things that supposedly didn't need fixing. I'm sure people have tried to make a sequel to chess in the past, but they aren't me. I assure you that whatever I'm about to give you next will be the supreme version of chess ever. Here we go. Chess 2. Okay, so if you don't know how to play chess, what are you
There's
doing?
also
I'll
this
explain the before and after for
extra hard version that I made it so that it uses mouse pointer, mouse X, and loudness as to why. Because I want to be evil.
each piece and rule so you can understand how much better this one is about to be. Very first thing though, we gotta change how the board looks. It has black and white, which is great for 3D chess where you can see the pieces come up from the surface, but when it's 2D like this, the pieces blend in way too easily. So I propose blue. So I have some ideas for some cool rules, and that'll be a big focus, but I think the smartest approach will just be to tackle the pieces and go from there. So let's take a look at this guy. Give one guess what it's called. Tower
Game over.
Castle? No, it's rook.
Game over. Game over. Over. Yeah, that. That's better. That's better. Game over.
Literally a crow. Now, the obvious thing would be to just rename it to Castle, but if they wanted a weird name, we're gonna embrace it. The rook is now a rook. I do not know how to draw a rook. Rook and just clean it up a little bit. And great, there's the new rooks. So what should be the rules for this guy? Well, what are the main characteristics of a crow? Yeah, they fly around. So here's what I'm thinking. The rook is able to fly wherever it wants. Literally anywhere on the board. And that's it. You might be wondering about how they attack. Guys, birds are very weak and small. You need to realize that they cannot go up against literally anything. But crows do eat dead animal and stuff.
And this is how ancient people used to manage customer data across 47 different spreadsheets, with pieces still missing today.
Digging for data? Fill in the blanks and bring your business into the future with HubSpot.
So you guys are just on State Farm, right? So that's a no.
Stop living on a prayer and get State Farm.
Well, and stuff. And so, anytime one of your own pieces dies, your crow has a one space radius where kill, as in one space in each of the main directions, up, down, left, right. So if we flew a rook here, this pawn would be safe because the
Over. not talked that much? I don't think I have. I've just been so focused. Focused! Then locked in on all of this. So
Cannot
neat.
attack at all. But if their bishop takes your horse,
Now I
then
just
the
gotta
rook now has the ability to attack the pawn.
do some other
It's called
stuff.
the rook, not the crow. Sorry. Cool. Now we got knights. Now, if you don't know, the main gimmick of horse is that it can jump over pieces. So, like right here, it can get out even though it's surrounded. But as you can see, it moves in this weird L shape or lowercase 5 or whatever. Now, I appreciate the quirkiness, but I think I've got something better. Now, if you know anything about me, you know I love monkeys. I love them, and they are nice and swingy, and I like their monkey noises. So we're gonna make it a monkey.
Actually, I'm gonna stick
His tail's behind him, that's why you can't see. So here's what I'm thinking. The monkey can move once. It can be bigger. The monkey can move one space in any direction, including diagonals. But if there's a piece that's adjacent to it, it can swing over it and it lands on the opposite side. So if it was on this diagonal, it would end up here. It's kind of like how you jump pieces in checkers. But if there's another adjacent piece, like so, it can jump multiple times in the same turn. And whatever piece is on the other side, when it lands, it takes. You can jump pieces as long as there's a piece there to jump over as many times as you want in a turn. But after jumping, you can't do the regular one block move. That's it, you're done. Same with taking pieces, you can't just take the piece and keep jumping. That's the end of your turn. Cool, that's all for our monkey friend for now. Okay, so now we get into the unexciting pieces. Like we have a cool castle and a horse and then a bunch of vertical things of different sizes. So we gotta spice it up a little bit. The bishop usually has the movement of the old rook, but turned 45 degrees. So at least when I've always looked at the bishop, I've seen a trout or bass or something with that mouth cut out. But anyways, we're gonna ignore that because we're bringing back the elephant from Chaturanga. The elephant actually morphed into the bishop over time, but that seems like the worst evolution ever. Now, I didn't elaborate on the rules of the elephant before, because it actually differs from culture to culture. But I think the one that will fit our chest too is the way the Chinese did it. Their elephant did what the bishop does now, but only 2 in any of the diagonal directions. Not just that though, it has to be exactly 2 spaces. So it can't go diagonal 1 like this, it has to go all the way here. And if it lands on a piece, it takes it. Cool. Now pawns are pretty special. Normally it moves forward 1 at a time, but it has some neat little quirks. If you've ever played Pokemon, you've heard of Magikarp. It's a very common Pokemon, and it really just can't do anything. But if you level it up enough, it becomes a very big, powerful, scary guy. It's the same with pawns. If you manage to take the pawn all the way to the end of the board, it evolves into a queen. This means you can have multiple queens on the board at once, which is extremely good. This is great and all, but I'd like to embrace its obvious inspiration from Magikarp and make it a fishy. Alright, so what do fishies do? They swim. But guess what? This is not water. We're on dry land here. So let me ask again. What do fishies do? That's right. They flop and flail helplessly. So what we're going to do is make it so the fishy can move 1 space in any direction except backwards. And the fishy can only take pieces when it's these 2 diagonal corners. Now the fishy still has the ability where if it makes it to the end, it turns into a queen. But this is a fishy queen. And that is very important. This is how the fishy queen works. It acts just like a regular queen, where it can move as far as it wants in any direction. But this is not a real queen. That is very important. Alright, so 2 pieces left. The king and queen. So, I actually want to keep these pieces the same, but we definitely want to redraw them. So there's the king. He is holding a banana. Very important. Let's get the queen.
Let's talk about the difference between a beginner and a pro. A beginner has just the basic mechs. What a loser. Watch as the pro players are tearing this guy a new one. Now let's look at a pro player. This guy used the Wardex promo code when he started playing. What a champ. He got Vortex, the legendary flying tank, and some other sweet resources to upgrade his mech. With tons of HP and the protective nanobot field ability, this mech is so hard to kill. When the field is active, it also shields teammates in range and deals extra damage to any enemies in range. Plus, it doubles Vortex's speed. That's a crazy advantage in the arena. If you group up with a powerful and agile ally, like Killshot, you get an annihilating pro combo that's hard to deal with.
Still going pretty
Start
well.
strong with the Vortex promo code, get a massive starter pack, and dominate the
Pretty
arena.
well, pretty well, pretty well, pretty well. How can I show you? Oh, also, before I continue, I should probably show you the coding I have made. So, basically, here's the code I have. These two, if you take this one out, this one instead, and basically swap this one out for cleverness. Then you have an extremely hard version. And that, well, you have a harder version. This version is already hard.
So these pieces move the same way, and they take pieces the same way. Where the king moves one in any direction, and it takes those pieces, and the queen moves as far as she wants in any direction, and takes those pieces. However, the way we play the game is very different. If you lose your king, it is not over. He is simply captured. So now what happens is the king goes to jail. And the only way to win is to capture both the king and the queen. This is why it's important that it's fishy queens, not real queens. It has to be the real queen. And so you have to capture both of them. But the catch is the monkey can save the king because he is holding a banana. So the monkey can swing over the bars of the jail, grab the king, take him out, drop him before he lands. But when the monkey does that, he takes the banana. This means that if the king gets captured again, the monkey will have no incentive to save the king. And the monkey does not save the queen ever because she does not have a banana. But if it's a situation like this, the monkey can't grab the king and come back because the monkey can't land anywhere himself. There has to be another piece that the monkey can use to swing away and land somewhere else. So I think that covers all the pieces and their rules. Mostly. Now for board layout. This is very similar to the old chess. Elephant actually swaps the fishy. Then we have the same thing in the old chess with the king and queen and the color rule. So the queen goes on the color of your piece. And then the king goes on the other one with a banana. Keep in mind, he never gets the banana back if he gets saved. Let's just appreciate the before and after. What an improvement. Great, now something I didn't mention before is where we put the jail in the middle on either side. So if white took black's king, he would go in white's right side. And then when black takes white pieces, they go to this side, either player's right side. Also keep in mind, this right here is like a fake piece that the monkey jumps over. He's not from over here jumping over. He's from right here. Now I'd like to add a bonus piece. So this piece is going to be the bear.
Pretty cool,
he is not on either side. He starts in the middle of the board. I know that doesn't make sense right now. Either player can use the bear. He moves one space in any direction, but he doesn't take pieces. He simply is a barricade, and the monkey can swing over him. Since he starts in the middle, he doesn't count as anywhere here. But if someone moves him, they can move him to any of these four, and then he's really in play. But the bear can be killed. So if the bear is here, the elephant could take him out, and he's gone forever. Also, when you capture the king and queen, you put them in either slot you want. The monkey has to be facing the jail head on. He can't do any diagonal moves to save the king. Alrighty, well I think that's pretty much it. I know this is 400 better than the last chess, and I'm excited to see the new strategies that develop. I'll leave a link in the description so you can download the pieces and print them off, and then you can try them out on your own board. Alright, well subscribe.
All right, So that's one pair of prescription
I think I'm
glasses.
Yep.
Plus
Oh,
anti-reflective
right.
lens coating.
Oh,
Award-winning
Hey,
customer
Cody,
service.
that's me.
That's also me.
I see.
And free frame adjustments for life.
And that's included in the...
$95.
Oh.
Welcome to Warby Parker.
Introducing a revolutionary experience for developers. A great sleep score. Azure DevOps and Defender for Cloud catch security issues, so you can catch more Z's.
Checkers is such an interesting game. Basically everyone has played it, but I don't think I've ever come across someone who's hyped to play checkers. You know what I mean? It seems like it was just preloaded into all of our memories for some reason, and none of us actually
Just search something real quick. Not that big of a deal. Let me just Scratch tutorial, yeah.
Let's build this game in Scratch Junior under a minute.
Smart Toys Move.
Let's build this game in this video, we take your Scratch Junior game to the next level by adding real game logic and a game over screen. First, you'll learn how to make your player character from scratch. Make them disappear when bumping into dangerous spiky platforms. Then, we extend this logic to other platforms to add more challenge. To keep the hero from sliding off the screen, we build sidewalls and give them the same disappearing effect. Next, we create a dedicated game over scene, complete with bold game over text, an again message, and a yes button. The button is programmed to restart the game by switching scenes when tapped. To tie it all together.
No, that wasn't good. Oh, what the heck is this?
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save up to £240 for a family of 4. Don't miss out. Book now with Jet2 Holidays.
Here's how you can make the classic snake game in Scratch under 20 seconds. First, you need the snake's head, body, food, and a cool background, which you can either draw or download the files from a Discord server. Next, you need to add this chunk of code for the snake's movement and this chunk of code for the apples and score counter. And boom, you've got the Nokia snake game in Scratch. Here's how you can make...
What is Scratch? Scratch is a coding engine where you can drag and drop blocks together to make a game. Wait a minute, it's that easy? I'm gonna go make a game of my own. It was not that easy. Well, now you know.
For the next one on the list, you need to open your browser.
What is Scratch? Scratch is a coding engine where you can drag and drop blocks together to make a game. Wait a minute, it's that easy? I'm gonna go make a game of my own.
For the next one on the list, you need to open your browser to...
What is...
Piovo. Dano. How do you spell it? Ran out of money. Ran out of money. Okay,
For the next one on the list, you need to open your browser to a random one of your projects. Refresh the page and everything is good, right? Well, maybe not. Try adding a 0 to the Scratch project number. You'd think this makes no difference, but well, when you load the page, we once again get that lovely blue screen. I'm not sure myself as to what's happening here. If anyone does know, then please comment down below. For the next one on the list, you need to open your browser to a random one of your projects. Refresh the page and
if it's off, it turns red. Stuck on a line, you can replay that step and try again. And at the end, we compare our scores side by side. Loki, the
In Scratch, we have two dimensions, the X and the Y. And if we want to make things look 3D, we also need the Z axis. Now obviously in Scratch we don't have the Z axis, so we can consider perspective. This means that when things are closer, they look bigger, and when things are further away, they appear smaller. In Scratch we can make a simple script like this to change the size of the character when they move up and down. And to enhance this, we can have a background which has perspective projection, and a character that looks like it's walking away. And now you've successfully faked 3D. In Scratch we have two dimensions.
So for Thanksgiving, literally nobody got a butterball.
Okay, I'm getting off track now. Platformer game.
My most followed Scratch tutorials. Test your driving and coding skills with simple car steering. An ultra upbeat asteroids clone, Lemonoids, also with health bars and number counters. Tile scrolling platformer. It started out generic but morphed into an epic Mario clone. Ah, nice. Simple background scrolling tutorial. Tile based retro fun with the much requested Scratch RPG series with its awesome built-in level editor. Lay down the rules, then watch Scratch do the rest in its unmissable Simple Maze Generation tutorial. Get to grips with physics in this now legendary bouncing ball physics tutorial. Crazy cool joysticks. Share your games with everyone by making them mobile friendly. The ultimate 3D Raycaster tutorial, an unparalleled journey into 3D that brings your Scratch games into another dimension. The king of tutorials, the classic Scratch platformer. 3 million views and gaining, so dive in and watch. My most followed Scratch tutorials.
today I'll teach you how to build a Scratch platformer in just 1 minute.
My goodness. How to add gravity? Okay, this is cool now, guys. Pretty cool. Gotta add this. Let me just memorize it. Memorize it too, please. Also, probably memorize that you guys gotta like it, subscribe. Just kidding, guys. I'm not gonna grab out this thing. What's to be funny? Funny money. Huggy wuggy. Okay.
I love how much I can bundle and save on
Let's
insurance.
just look at this a bit more.
I love that you love how much you can bundle and save.
I love it. You love it.
I love that you love that I love that you love to bundle and save.
Only pay for what you need.
New Fresh Step Lightweight. Light lift. Strong odor control.
Hello, fellow Scratchers. I'm Griffpatch, and I love all kinds of Scratch projects, especially platformers. But until now, I've not covered the traditional bread and butter of Scratch, the classic Scratch platformer. There may be no scrolling or complex lists here, but we have great expectations because we are laying the solid foundations to build up to something more like this. Wow, doesn't that look great? Why not drop me a message in the comments below to share what you are most excited to learn about? There's a lot to see from the solid platform. Add an if, and for the time being, we'll check for touching color. Use the color picker to select the color of your level. Now, for all of you worrying about using the color sensing blocks, don't fret. This is just for the time being, as it makes things easier to explain. Right, drop in a stop all block within that if, and we can confirm that we are detecting the collisions. Run the project, and now everything comes to a halt as soon as the player is touching the level. It's worth noting here what touching actually means. All block within that if, and we can confirm that we are detecting the collisions. Run the project, and now everything comes to a halt as soon as the player is touching the level. It's worth noting here what touching actually means. Unlike in the real world, when you'd say you were touching something if you were pressed up against it. In Scratch, the objects need to be overlapping to be counted as touching, and this is overlapping. Check. Goal number 3, then, is to get our players back out of the ground again, now that we have collided. Well, if we weren't colliding last frame, we could just move back to where we were before, right? To do that, we change y again, but this time by negative speed y. That is 0 minus speed y. Run that again. As soon as we collided, we quickly have been taken back to just before the collision occurred. That's actually pretty good, but notice the small gap under our player? That happened to be a rather lucky fall. Things can look a lot worse. Let me adjust our starting Y position to 55 and then run the project again. Oh no, that's no good at all. We've moved way too far. This strategy of just moving back out of the floor by the same amount we moved in doesn't work. Instead, we need to carefully move our player back up only a single step at a time until we finally reach the point where we are no longer colliding. Then we can be sure that we are not floating off the ground after the collision, and the world will be set to rights. We'll do this by repeating until we're not touching colour. And in this repeat loop, we'll change y by 1, just 1. That is, we move them up 1 pixel at a time. We don't need the stop all block any longer. If we run that, we can now see after a collision we are raised back up to the surface. But then suddenly we plunge back down into the ground again. Oh, why is that? Okay, simple. After an impact with the ground, we need to reset our speed y to 0, since the impact should have taken all the speed out of our fall. Great. Gone is the glitch. But I'm not dead keen on the way our player is seen to glide up out of the ground. Luckily, this can be easy to fix using our friend the custom block. So make a new block, naming it Fix Overlap. And here's the important thing. We click the Run Without Screen Refresh. This means everything we place inside this block will no longer animate, but will finish running before the screen refreshes. This is perfect for getting the player out of the ground without us having to see it happen. Move the entire Repeat Until block under the new Define Fix Overlap block, replacing it with the Fix Overlap block itself. Let's see that in action. Oh yes, smooth Define Fix Overlap.
Okay.
Y to 0, since the impact should Y to 0, since the impact should have taken all the speed out of our fall.
Just close that up. Get YouTube back out. Kidding me. Wait, no. Let me press that.
Hello, fellows. If we run that, we can now see after a collision we are raised back up to the 0, since the impact is seen to glide up out of the ground. And here's the important thing before the screen refreshes. Replacing it with the fixed fall. Great. Gone is the glitch. But I'm not dead keen on the way our player is seen to glide up out of the ground. Luckily, this can be easy to fix using our friend the custom block. So make a new block, naming it fix.
He's so angry, guys. How about you? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Finally. Oh yeah. That's better, that's better. It's not supposed to be draggable, man. Oh. I'll add it. Let's make the ground collection. We're gonna need one let's just I wasn't forever. Let's get that knot out. These. Nice smooth. Okay. Okay, that's better. Oh yeah, can't undo it. I'm sorry, guys. I think I'm gonna finish tomorrow, okay? This is getting way too long. Way too long, okay, guys? Okay, guys. And that is it for today. I hope you all have a great day. And that is pretty much it. I still have this, which... yeah. So I have this while I have this. So yeah, that's it for today. I'm good. So bye guys. Hope you all have a good day, and that is it, okay? And goodbye.